Today, May 18th, is actually my birthday, and all I wanted for my birthday was just something very low-key. Me and my family came over here to Anna Marie Island, which I wanted to show you a view of.
Tryna play me, they ain't no better. Herp on me, you can call me Chris Webber. Brand new whip with the brand new leather. Bitch, now I made plays, so they all look dead.
Alright, so I've got 31 life lessons that I took time this morning on my 31st birthday to write down that I wanted to share with you. Let's see if we can go find somewhere to sit down and go over these notes. Hello, grandmother. Yeah, I'll put you on camera. How are you, grandma? I wish you were here.
And it's hot like the sauna. Buying these stocks, I don't care about designer. Trying to play me, they ain't no.
Let's jump into it. I got 31, so I'm going to go through some a little bit faster than the others, and then the others just kind of go through and just give you the main point. But the first one I want to cover is balance. Balance is not a real thing. Most people think about life-work balance, and I tried that for the longest time, but the way I kind of look at this is like life is a teeter-totter, right? You put more weight on one side and then the other side goes up. Trying to balance it out will drive you insane. So the secret to balance is just being okay with it, accepting it, and just not stacking up too much weight on one side of the teeter-totter. Number 2, family is everything. It's very funny because for my 31st, same thing for my 30th, all I wanted to do was just hang out with my family. Previous years, all I wanted to do was just party, ball out, rent exotics, rent yachts, go to the club. And it's funny how as you get older, the wiser you get and the more that family matters to you. 3, life is a mirror. So make sure you treat others how you want to be treated. Number 4, and this is company value actually inside my company, is simple scales, complex fails. The more things you make complex, the harder and the more stressful your life's going to be. So for me, one of the rules I have is, can I get whatever the result I want? How can I do that in the most simplest version? Number 5, and this has actually been a lot more relevant for me recently, is if it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. Meaning when you're making decisions, if you don't absolutely want to do this thing, life's too short to do shit you don't want to do. So if it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. Number 6, don't chase someone else's goal. Take the time it actually takes to figure out what your own goal is. I know that sounds a little ridiculous, but I think with social media and seeing other people's results, it's really easy to get on the bandwagon of like a trend or someone else's goal. A perfect example for this would be for me inside my company. Beginning of this year, our big number that we wanted to hit was $1 million a month inside our company. And we started building for it and everything just got way more stressful. And then I realized for me, if we hit $1 million a month, that's amazing. But what does my dream life really look like? What do I need to be making in this company to absolutely love it and not sacrifice the quality that we get for our clients or the quality of team members we have? And it was something where I kind of took a step back and realized what my actual goals were this company, and then reshaped what my goals were and then built the team around that. So we actually shaved off a lot of team members on the company just to be more realigned with what our goal is. So my challenge for you is figure out what your dream life is, reverse engineer that, and don't get caught up in all the social media games of oh, you have to hit this number and you have to do this and this is the main thing that'll make you cooler, and figure out what you want. Because at the end of the day, it's all about you. What do you actually want? Number 7, don't tell the world what you're going to do. Just go and do it. Actions speak a lot louder than words. I see a lot of people where they're oh, I'm going to do this. Big things are coming, all this, and then not shit actually happens. I stopped doing that about 4 years ago and my life changed. So instead of telling the world what you're gonna do, why don't you just go do it in the first place and then let the world talk about it? Number 8, live in the now. That's actually a new tattoo I got on the back of my leg when I was in Tokyo. And it's just a friendly reminder of living in the now. Don't be so caught up in what's going on in the future or getting too excited about in the future or trying to relive your past moments. The best moment of life is this current moment right now. And that's what's gonna bring you the most peace, is when you can just live in the now. Number 9, trust your gut. It usually points you in the right direction unless you have data proving that it's factual. And what I mean by this is have you ever made one of those business decisions or hired somebody and you're deep down, I just don't feel this is right. If you feel that feeling, trust your gut. Unless you have some sort of data where it comes to for example, increase in ad spend where your gut's telling you don't spend more money on ads, but your data tells you you're way more profitable, that's it's kind of like figuring out how to balance those in a way of like the side that's holding you back and then the side that's leveling you up. So it's easier said than done, but I'm starting to lean more with trusting my gut, which I always have been, but there's still decisions in life that I've made, especially in business, where I've gone more of just like, okay, I have that gut feeling, but I think I need to do this to level up. And it's more of just like an educated risk at the end of the day. Number 10, another company value. The standard is the standard. I don't think this one really needs a lot of explaining because the standard is a standard. You set the standard, and if anything falls short of the standard, it's not part of the standard. So what do? You move on. In business, if you have a standard and people aren't operating on the standard, you ship them out. Same thing in life. If you don't have a standard, you're never going to be able to rise up. You need to have goals. You need to have aspirations from there. You gotta step up to the plate. All right, moving on. Number 11, you get what you tolerate. Number 12, understand how to read people. Spending time with the wrong type of people will set you back tremendously. I think when people say don't judge a book by its cover, is kind of like the worst thing you could possibly do. You should judge people by their cover. Like for me, if I'm in shape and I'm trying to get in the best version of myself, healthy and mentally wise, I'm not going to be hanging out with somebody that is sitting on their couch all day, super negative, eating Doritos, and has a gut that's 10 times bigger than mine, because that doesn't align with my goals. I'm not saying you should be mean to someone that's not aligned with you, but you should have your standard of who you hang out with, of what you want out of life. And when you have that standard, it's gonna put you with the right type of people. And I think in order to do that successfully, you have to be able to understand how to read people. Number 13, focus. There's always something bigger, better, worse, whatever it is. Just focus on you, focus on your goals. And that's why I think it's very important to have an idea of where you want to go. My biggest lesson over the years inside business has been to just stay focused on one thing. When I first got started in entrepreneurship, I was doing everything, man. I was doing drop shipping, real estate, e-com, Forex. And then it wasn't until one time I was actually on a family vacation, kind of like something like this, where I was just overwhelmed. I wasn't making any money. It was like my first year in business. And I'll never forget, I just wrote in the sand. I just went for a walk by myself, took a stick, wrote in the sand everything I was doing, and just crossed off one by one by one until I figured out the last one and circled it. And at the time, it was running a chiropractic agency, SMA, and I went all in on that. And that one moment in the sand of just circling everything changed my entire life. Number 14, I got this from a mastermind that I was at recently in Japan. Only make important decisions when you are in a peak flow state. Number 15, life is polar. There's positive sides and negative sides to everything. Think about it. Energy is either positive or negative, right? And same thing in life. The fact that you're watching this video right now, it could be positive. It could also be negative. You could be a hater, or you could be somebody that's supporting me. At the end of the day, the truth is just in the middle, right? So let's say I go outside, I'm walking on the beach, and I stub my toe on a shell, right? Somebody could look at that as a negative, or somebody could look at that as a positive and be like, wow, I stubbed my toe on the beach, so it actually made me walk back inside, and then it downpoured right after that. That's a positive that it forced me to go inside, where somebody else would be like, damn, I stubbed my toe. Yeah, it's terrible. But in reality, it's just the truth. It's what happened. And once you realize that, your entire life will change. It changed my entire life by just accepting things as they are. Number 16, the truth will set you free. Number 17, don't beat around the bush, just be blunt. I think there's a lot of things going on right now where it's like, oh, be too nice to everybody and all this stuff. It's like, life's too short. Be blunt so you can get what you want out of life. Number 18, and this is probably one of my favorite sayings in the world. Shout out to John Whiting. He's the one that actually installed this in my brain, is you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. Meaning everything in life is meant to be. So stop trying to fake impress other people. If they're going to be your real friends, or if it's going to be a real girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, or whatever, just be you. You're going to attract the right person at the end of the day. Number 19, take time to just relax and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Number 20, 25% of your friends should be above or better than you. 25% should be below. 50% should be around where you're at. You're not going to put this in a spreadsheet and be like labeling each person, but just a thought process is you shouldn't only be hanging out with people that are like 10 times ahead of you. And you shouldn't only be hanging out with people that are 10 times below of you. And you shouldn't only be hanging out with people that are just right where you're at. You need a combination of all of it to really enjoy what life's all about. 21, your significant other is one of, if not the most important decisions of your entire life. So make sure you're actually making the right decisions with this. And I think a lot of people just rush into getting married and everything like that. And like, I think one of the things that I love about my relationship with G is we're both always on the same page. We're both always trying to level up, and we're not rushing anything because we want to make sure we both have exactly what we want out of life. And I think that's where a lot of people mess up, is they sacrifice who they are just to get the title. At the end of the day, the person that you're going to be spending the rest of your life with is somebody that you should admire as well too, because you are going to be another version of themselves. So if there's somebody that's dragging you down and they're not elevating you and not helping you get to where you want to be in life, you really, really need to second guess that and take time to think about it. Number 22, this is more of a marketing thing, is if you haven't pissed off somebody by noon, you're not doing your job right. If you're not having somebody talking shit to you by noon on marketing, you're not reaching enough people. And if that's the case, hit me up. I can help you out with that. Number 23, don't let success get to you. Be nice to everyone and don't be a spoiled brat. Number 24, it's a good thing to be picky. You know, growing up, I was very picky about the food I ate, people I hung out with and things like that. And like a lot of people made fun of me for that. And I always thought it was like a bad thing. But as I gotten older, I've realized it's a good thing to be picky because that means you have standards. Number 25, energy is never created or destroyed. Number 26, business is all about creating momentum. Number 27, eat healthy and take care of your body. You only have one. This one blows my mind. For example, this morning, me and my mom got on the golf cart, drove down to this coffee shop down there, and there's two people in front of us. This is like 8 a.m. Got some beauty sleep last night for the birthday. And these two people in front of us, they both had a gut, and it's 8 a.m. and they're both getting a cup of Coca-Cola this big to start their day. Why? It makes no sense. You only have one body, take care of it. Number 28, show up how you want others to show up. Number 29, motivation is temporary, discipline is permanent. And number 30, there's no moment like this exact moment right now. And since I've turned 31 this year, the last thing I'll leave you with, simple. Just enjoy the little things.